A very good evening to all of you, my friends. A very good evening to all of you. I hope you people are doing fine and your preparations are going at full thrust. Okay, Mohammad Faijan, very nice. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So, Mohammad Faijan, if I am not wrong, this is your first live session with me. I think you have watched my recorded lectures. Okay, so let's not waste any more time and start today's session. So today's class is going to be about probabilistic inventory model, and this is the 42nd lecture in the Industrial Engineering and Operations Research Crash Course series. So guys, for those who don't know me, my name is Manish Mishra. I secured an All India rank of 568 in GATE 2015, and since then, my friends, I am teaching for GATE and ESE. I have a cumulative experience of 5 years now in teaching, and the subjects that I primarily take are manufacturing science, industrial engineering, operations research, as well as material science. मैंने दीक्षित सर क्लासेस ली थी. Okay, okay, मोहम्मद. Nice. He is a really good educator. So, for those who don't know about this, I have started a series by the name of Manufacturing 2020, in which in just 20 days time I targeted the entire manufacturing, which can help you guys fetch 20 marks in the GATE examination. Now this series, my friend, is on the Unacademy special classes, which is absolutely free, and if you want to watch these sessions, please remember to use the referral code MMM10 to unlock your free plan on the Unacademy app. So guys, if you want to watch my lectures on the Unacademy app, this is my profile on the Unacademy. I am a verified educator on Unacademy and I have a rank of 95 among 1000 plus educators in the GATE and ESE category. The best thing about this is that I have secured this rank in the last 30 days only, which is a fantastic milestone as an educator, and this would not have been possible without the love and affection of you guys. If you want to watch my session on the Unacademy app, simply scan this QR code and you will be able to watch all my lectures, right? Remember guys, if the Unacademy app gives you a prompt to unlock your free plan, use the referral code MMM10. Okay? This is a universal code to unlock any free plan across the Unacademy platform. So any of your friends, any of your relatives, if they are also using the Unacademy app in order to prepare for any competitive examination, then also they can use the referral code MMM10 to unlock the free plan, and then they will be able to watch all the special classes for free. So doesn't matter what content we are talking about, doesn't matter which category we are talking about, doesn't matter which exam you are going to prepare for, MMM10 code works everywhere on the Unacademy platform. This is my Telegram group chat. This is my Telegram group chat. If you want to join this Telegram group chat, simply scan this QR code and you will be directed towards the page where you will be prompted to join this Telegram channel. Remember guys, I share my notes, my practice booklets, notifications of my classes, guidance, and many more on this Telegram channel. So let's start the session then. Thank you, Mohammad Fajan. It's enough for us that you guys can even recognize that if we are doing something for a good cause, then it gets recognized. That is the biggest achievement for an educator. Thank you very much. So let us start the series then, Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. So guys, today I will be concluding one topic which we have left in the inventory models. So remember, in the inventory models, when I was explaining, I specifically told you guys that there are two types of inventory models, a deterministic type and a probabilistic type. So today, my friends, we will be dealing with the probabilistic type inventory model, and we have already covered the deterministic type inventory model in the lectures that I have created in this very playlist. So if you have not watched those lectures, please check out the playlist and complete the session. Okay, so let us proceed. So probabilistic model, है ना? As the name is suggesting, my friend, the word probability is basically entering in this domain, right? So probability we all know is about guessing. We all know about that. Probability in mathematics is used whenever there is an uncertainty, right? So what is a probabilistic model? Let us first understand. In this model, the demand rate and the lead time are variable and fluctuating. What is the meaning of this? I will explain each and everything. Let's just go through all these steps one by one. Factors encouraging higher safety stock. Now remember, three terms are introduced just right in this first line: demand rate, lead time, variable and fluctuating, and one more is higher safety stock, right? So we have to understand each of these terms. When the when the demand rate and lead time fluctuations are more and variable, that is what leads us to go for a higher safety stock. Second point, when the inventory holding cost is very less and is often not of much concern. When the loss associated with stock out is very high, or last, you have to provide better customer satisfaction, right? So guys, first of all understand one thing. We have studied the deterministic inventory models when we studied this kind of QT curve, right? So when I explained this, I specifically told you guys, good evening, Sonu. I specifically told you guys that on the first of the very month, let's say the seller order 30 units of a product, right? So the seller orders 30 units of a product on the first of every month, and then let's say in 30 days time, on an average, the inventory goes again to zero, and then again we have to place an order of 30 units, and then after again 30 days, the inventory goes back to zero. Now, my friends, the number one assumption that we considered while drawing this EOQ model was that demand was uniform. Just go by this and I'll explain each and everything, and it will be extremely easy for you to understand the concept of probabilistic inventory model, right? So the number one thing that we considered was that demand is uniform. What is the meaning of the word uniform demand? Like when I say that in a month 30 units get consumed, 30 units per month gets consumed, and if I say the demand is uniform, then it means that every day a single unit gets consumed, every week 7 days gets consumed, every year 30 into 12, that is 360 units get consumed. So all I am assuming is that if demand is uniform, then basically the consumption is also happening at a uniform rate. The consumption, my friend, is also happening at a uniform rate. This is a straight line, right? Now, although you must realize that it is not necessarily that demand can be uniform. Like even if I talk about a very popular product which sells every day, like Maggi noodles, ठीक है ना? So my friend, Maggi noodles is a very hot selling product. It sells every day. But then also we cannot say with 100% conformity that every day exactly 10 packets of Maggi will get sold. If I talk about that 10 packets of Maggi sold down every day, then that means in a month, which has a time duration of 30 days, 30 into 10, that is 300 packets of Maggi should get sold. So if I consider the 10 packets per day to be a uniform demand, then I can conclude that on the basis of this, in 5 days time, 50 packets will get sold and so on. But the reality, my friend, is that it is very rare that a product can have a uniform demand, right? There are situations and there will be situations in case of a hot selling product like Maggi also, where you will find that on some day Maggie might get sold like 20 packets. On some day, Maggie might get sold like 5 packets. I mean, I don't know whether this is true or not, but what I have experienced, that in this lockdown of COVID-19, people consumed a lot more food than they usually do. I mean, most of us has gained weight, right? So I don't know whether you have noticed this or not. I mean, Maggie was out of stock for a lot amount of time, right? In the market, if you go to a general store and you ask for a Maggie, they would have most probably said that it is not available, it is not in stock. And guys, I believe, I don't know whether it is true or not, but I believe that the consumption of Maggie increased in this duration, right? People were consuming Maggies a lot. So earlier, if Maggie was getting sold like 10 packets a day, and now because people are sitting all day at home, they feel like eating every now and then. So consumption of Maggie suddenly increased, right? So I am saying that in case of Maggie also, it is not necessarily that the demand should be uniform. Now, the thing is, the thing is, let's say on the very first of the month. On the very first of the month, I have 30 packets of Maggie in the inventory. Now, I assume that every day one packet of Maggie gets consumed. One per day is the general demand or is the uniform demand. Now, suddenly, what happens on some day, a customer came and he suddenly asked for 5 packets of Maggie. Right? So, let's say this customer came in the early part of the month. I hope you're getting my point. Let's say that the customer came in the very first week of the month. ठीक है ना? So at that point, my friends, my inventory count is 30, and even if the customer takes away 5 packets, I know that what needs to be my reorder level, right? I have explained all of these things to you. I have explained what is lead time. When I say that lead time is 7 days, that means this is the time required in order to place an order and to receive an order. I am saying is that if I want to have a new order, if I want to have new inventory of 30 units on this very day, then my friends, I will have to place the order 7 days back, right? So the time period between the placement of an order and the receiving of an order is called as the lead time. So whenever you place an order on Flipkart basically gives you a delivery time. So that time basically is the lead time, right? So all I am saying is that I have explained all these terms like lead time, reorder level. So guys, if the lead time is 7 days, and I am assuming that 7 into 1 is 7 units. So when the inventory count will be 7 units, when the inventory count will be 7 units, I will basically place the order. Whenever the inventory counts reaches 7 units, I will basically place the order. Now I hope you are getting my point, right? Now my friends, the thing is that before this reorder level or before this lead time of 7 days, everything was just fine. I mean, even the product has a variable demand. Let's say someday 2 packets got sold, someday no packet got sold, someday 4 packets got sold. So even if the demand is bit fluctuating than what we have expected, then also my friends, it is not of much concern to me because I have inventory. I have inventory. I can satisfy the customers. I can sell the product. It is not going to be an issue for me. But the issue arises when I talk about the duration, that is the lead time duration, right? Because I have considered the lead time as 7 days. Then according to this 7 days, I have expected that I want an inventory count of 7. Now, if the demand fluctuates in this lead time, if the demand fluctuates in this lead time of 7 days, then it is going to be of a concern to me. Because remember, I have only 7 units in the inventory. If I am assuming that every day only 1 packet will get sold, but the reality gives me a check. Let's say someday 3 packets get sold, then I will be worried. Why I will be worried? Let me explain you. Because if these 7 packets get out of stock, if these 7 packets get sold out, then my friends, I will be facing shortage. If my expected lead time is 7 days and my inventory of 7 days gets consumed in let's say 3 days, then those 4 days I will not have any inventory. This stock out situation arises because I assumed the demand to be constant. If the demand is variable, especially in the lead time period, it will cause me problems. I hope you people are getting my point. So guys, all I am saying is that if the demand rate and lead times are variable, like demand rate varies in the lead time, but there could be situations where the lead time also varies. I am expecting a lead time of 7 days. I have kept inventory of 7 units so that in that lead time it can compensate everything. My system should run smoothly. Customer will get satisfied. But if the lead time increases, varies, do not remain constant as per my expectation. If the lead time, let's say, move on to 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, then it is a situation to worry. I hope you people are getting my point, Baba. Then it is a situation to worry. So if the demand rate and the lead time are variable and fluctuating, factors encourage a higher safety stock. What is a higher safety stock? Guys, it simply means that I will keep a buffer. I will keep some dead stock. Let's say I consider those dead stock to be 10 in number, then I will always have 10 units in the inventory as a buffer. I hope you people are getting my point, right? Now, those 10 units will always be there in my inventory so that if certain situations like fluctuating lead time or fluctuating demand rate occurs, then that should not affect the continuity of the business. I hope you people are getting my point. I hope you people are getting my point. I can see a very less strength today in my class. I think most of the students are celebrating the 31st. But always keep in mind that you have a target, and that target is to crack the GATE exam. Right? You all are like 22 or 23 years old, and I believe you have already celebrated like 22 New Years. I'm not saying do not celebrate this New Year, but one should remember, right? So, higher safety stock means when the demand rate and lead time fluctuations are more and variable, when the inventory holding cost is very low, I will hold this extra stock, this buffer stock, if the inventory holding cost is very less. Like products like Maggie, right? They are kept in dry places. They do not require some deep freezer or something. So, in order to store Maggie, we do not require much investment, right? So holding Maggie is not a big affair. So if there is a product which is cheap to hold, then my friends, we can definitely go for a higher safety stock or a higher buffer stock, right? When the loss associated with the stock out is very high. So guys, Maggie is one product where you will be basically making like 3 or 2 rupees in a 40 rupees packet of Maggie. I mean, if a 40 rupees packet of Maggie gets sold out, then basically the shopkeeper will get around like 2-3 rupees in profit. But then also Maggie is a very important product, right? Why? Because Maggie is very easily available anywhere. Even like those daily needs shop, they also keep Maggie. है ना? So if you go to any shop like bakery, also the bakery people also keep Maggie. Na? So Maggie is very easily available now anywhere because it is a hot selling product. It gets easily sold. So all I'm saying is that if you are a shopkeeper and let's say in your shop Maggie is out of stock, ठीक है ना? Then a customer which let's say is your loyal customer, is your very reputed old customer, comes into the shop, asks for a Maggie, and you fails to deliver him, then he might go to some another customer, he might go to some another shop, right? So that customer might go to some another shop and might buy Maggie from there. And if that shopkeeper realizes that, oh, he is a new customer and gives you a discount, then you might stop going to that older shop because you expect now that he should also be giving you discount. So getting out of stock in case of Maggie, I hope people are getting my point. Getting out of stock from a product where the stock out is very high or the stock out is very dangerous for you, then that will definitely make the shopkeeper to keep a higher safety stock, right? So in order to provide better customer satisfaction, this is also one. Ankur, after a very long time, you are connecting with me. So basically, Ankur has told me multiple times, sir, notes नहीं मिल रहा है group में आपके. Ankur, I am basically providing my notes on a Telegram group chat now. ठीक है ना? I have shared the link of the Telegram group chat on this video or on this lecture also, and I will be sharing at the end of this lecture also, right? Gino, I know you have already requested, and I will start that series from 5th of January, right? I am preparing for that. I am creating the content for that, and very soon, my friend, I will be starting that series. Where in very short amount of time, I will basically be covering the entire industrial and OR with the help of questions, which will completely be formulated by me. And then I will also share the practice booklet and the PYQs of GATE in industrial and OR on the Telegram group chat, right? So we will be preparing the industrial OR with the help of questions from the 5th of January, and within 10 or 11 days, friends, I will complete the entire industrial engineering and OR on YouTube only. Okay, so now let us consider the importance, right? So now let us understand the safety stock. I mean, I have already explained you what is safety stock. So now let us get into the analytics of safety stock. Like during lead times, due to uncertainties in the demand, like sometimes an extra demand comes, है ना? And also order may not be able to deliver. As I said, you expected a lead time of 7 days. You expect the delivery guys to come to in 7 days to your shop, but if he or she fails, if they fails to deliver you on time, then basically the lead time increases. Okay, so safety stock is being provided as a cushion against the stock out. Lead time consumption always follows normal distribution. This last point that is written here, my friends, it is of prime importance to you. Lead time consumption always follows a normal distribution. As I have mentioned that the consumption in any other duration doesn't bother me, but what bothers me is the consumption or the demand rate in the lead time. If this demand rate is fluctuating, my friends, then this will create a bit of tension for me, because there is a huge probability that I might go out of stock, right? I hope people are considering my situation. Now, all I am saying is that the lead time demand or the demand in the lead time period follows a normal distribution. What is the meaning of this? Follows normal distribution means, like if I am saying that the demand rate is like 10 packets per day, okay? If the demand rate is like 10 packets per day, then if I say that in the lead time this demand rate follows normal distribution, then I will basically distribute this demand rate in the normal distribution way. So what I will get, I will basically consider 10 packets per day as the mean. So this graph is basically showing that at 10 packets per day, the probability of occurrence of this event is maximum. Now I hope you are getting my point, right? I mean, I have already explained you guys what is normal distribution and everything. So I am basically saying here that if I am considering 10 packets per day as the average consumption, then I am saying that the demand to be exactly 10 packets per day will have the highest probability with respect to any other event. If I am saying that the demand will be 15 packets per day, because it is variable, if I am saying it is 5 per day, then these events are also possible, but this is the most possible event, highest probability, highest possibility. So basically through this normal distribution curve, on 10 days, at 10 days the probability is maximum, or the demand coming to be exactly 10 units is going to have the highest possibility. Now because of the normal distribution function, we say that this highest possibility is 50%. Why 50%? Because if I say that 10 packets per day is a variable term, right? So definitely I am saying that it is going to have some possibility, and that possibility maximum will be 50%, because either 10 packets per day demand will come or it will not come. Either 10 packets demand will come or it will not come, right? So 50-50% is there, so it is distributed normally, like the left hand side area is saying no, it will not occur, the right hand side is saying that yes, it will occur. I hope people are getting my point. So guys, basically the reorder point, right? So 10 packets is the basic consumption per day, so I consider the demand to be a bit higher. Let's say I consider it to be as 12 packets per day, and I consider my reorder point as per 12 packets per day in a given duration. So this extra stock that I have is basically the safety stock, right? So I have not gone for the 10 per day, I have gone for a higher consumption so that I can have some extra stock, some safety stock, and this extra area is basically my safety stock. Now this service level is basically showing the area under the curve. Now what is service level? Let me just tell you. Service level basically means, guys, that let me just explain this with the help of an example. Service level basically means, let's say that I consider that the possible events or the demand rate, demand can be 10, demand can be 11, demand can be 12, 13, 14 or 15, right? So if I am saying that 10 has a probability of 0.5, then 11 will have a lesser probability, 12 will have a lesser probability, 13, 14, 15 will have a lesser probability, because the graph is like this, and we all know like this, and the graph is like this. For 10 it is maximum, and then for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 it is going to decrease. So if let's say I consider the reorder point to be at 13, right? So basically I have 13 units in the inventory, and at 13 units I will again place the reorder. So even if the demand fluctuates like from 10 to 13, then also I will be able to cover the demand. I hope people are getting my point, right? All I am saying is that if I keep 10 packets in the inventory and let's say 11 persons came for the product, I will not be able to satisfy that one extra person. If I keep 11 packets and 12% came, then I won't be able to satisfy those one extra person. If let's say I keep 10 packets and 15 people came, then I won't be able to satisfy 5%. Now I hope people are getting my point, right? So all I am saying is that if I keep 13 units in the inventory, 13 units in the inventory and 13 is, let's say, somewhere here, then the area under the curve up to this 13 inventory is basically my service level. I will be able to cover this much percentage of people. I hope you people are getting my point, Baba. If I say this is 0.2, this is 0.1, this is 0.05, so if I add all of this, 0.5 plus 0.2, 0.7 plus 0.8 plus 0.85, so 85% is basically my service level. If I consider this area, it will be 85% of the entire curve, and that will let me satisfy 85% of the customer, or 85% of the time I will be able to convert the demand of the consumer. So that is service level. So it is basically from minus infinite to the reorder point. So whatever the area is this is basically the service level. Okay, na? So now guys, on the concept of this safety stock, we have to basically cover two models. One model is called as the service level model, है ना? Questions come in the gate examination from the service level model, and one segment is called the demand profit model. So these are basically the two areas. These are basically the two areas from where questions come in the gate examination, right? So service level model. This model is preferred where the loss associated with stock out is not known exactly, right? So whenever the loss associated with stock out is not known exactly, then we use the service level model to determine that how to make maximum profit, what number of quantity I should order. I hope you people are getting my point, right? Now consider one example. Consider one example. Like there are situations like suppose there is a product like ice cream, है ना? So ice cream, my friends, ice cream has a very less span. I mean, ice cream, we have to keep the ice cream in refrigerator and whatnot, and someday like electricity is not there, then it will difficult for us to keep the product intact. I hope you're getting my point. Even in case of clothes also, right? So if a shopkeeper like he's selling clothes, so he brings a lot of clothes in the shop in order to sell, and then some of the clothes they do not sold by, let's say, in 3 months time, so those clothes are like almost over, nah? So he will have to sell those clothes in a very less amount or in a sale or something like that. So basically it means is like if you do not know that if you go out of stock, like if the clothes shop they do not bring okay, so I was saying, I was explaining that if we consider the case of a shopkeeper who sells clothes, so basically, if the shopkeeper do not bring enough clothes, right, then what happens? He might get completely out of stock, and then customers might come ask him from clothes, and he will not know what to do with those customers, right? So, if the stock out is not known exactly, or the loss associated with the stock out is not known exactly, like as I mentioned the case of the shopkeeper who is selling clothes, if you bring too many clothes then he will have to sell the clothes afterwards in a sale, and that might be on a very high discount, so it will basically give him a loss. So he is not particularly informed about the loss, or do not know exactly how much loss he will have to bear, right? So in those cases, my friends, we use the service level model to calculate the stock. So in this model, the level of safety stock is kept according to the level of service arrangements we want to achieve, right? So service level is basically number of units supplied without delay upon total number of units demanded in the lead time. Remember, lead time is only that period in which we have to consider all these, otherwise things go very smoothly, right? So I have already explained you what is service level, so I will be skipping this, right? So guys, 95% service level is the standard value at its simply means that 95% of the customers demand on average is fulfilled during the lead time, and only 5% of the customers orders are rejected because of stock out during the lead time. As I mentioned that if the service level is 85%, then 85% of the customers will be satisfied, whereas 15% or 15% chances are there that a huge demand might come and we will have to say those customers that we do not have the product or we are out of stock, right? So they are saying that 95% service level is the standard value. Generally 95% service level is conserved. When the demand during lead time may be approximated by normal distributed curve, as I have already explained you, with a certain mean, let's say x bar or mu standard deviation sigma, then reorder level is given by. So mean, my friend, is given by x bar and standard deviation is given by sigma. Now you must be thinking that what is this mean value, right? What is this mean value? So guys, as I have explained here, because every event has a particular probability. So these are basically the weightage, my friends. Like the possibility of 10 packets order might come, or demand will be 10 units is 50%. So 50% is basically the weightage for this 10 units. So if I write 10 into zero point 0.5 plus 11 into zero point 0.2 plus 12 into zero point 0.1 plus 13 into 0.05 and so on. If I add everything with respect to its possibility or weightage, then I will get the mean, that is x bar, right? Then I will get the mean, that is x bar, and sigma is the standard deviation. Then the reorder level is given by this relation, that the reorder level is equal to x bar plus z into sigma, right? Now what is this x bar? It is basically our lead time demand, है ना? So as I have mentioned that if 10 packets, if let's say one packet per day is the demand, and the lead time, let's say, is 7 days, right? So in this 7 days, 7 into 1 is going to be x bar, that is my demand in the lead time. So x is nothing but the average demand during the lead time, right? But remember my friends, that if I talk about the lead time getting distributed, the demand in the lead time getting distributed with respect to normal distribution, then reorder level is basically lead time demand, that is lead time into demand rate, plus the safety stock, right? Because this safety stock, this extra stock is that which I will keep, so that if certain uncertainty happens, then also I will be able to continue the business smoothly. So this is basically the safety stock, my friends. This Z into sigma is basically the safety stock, and this X bar, this X bar is basically the lead time into D, right? Lead time demand. So in this safety stock, Z into sigma, sigma is the standard deviation which will be given to you in the question, and Z, my friends, is the standard normal variate whose value depends upon the level of service arrangement we want to achieve. So let's say if I want to achieve 95% service level, 99%, 80%, है ना? Whatever the service level that I want to achieve, the value of Z will be corresponding to that, and this sigma and Z, my friend, it will be given to you in the question. So generally the service level, Z for service level is 0.6 for 80%, 1.2 for 90%, 1.645 for 95%, 2.33 for 99%. Do one thing, just remember the value of 95%, because as I have mentioned, 95% service level is a standard. 95% service level is the standard value, right? I hope you people are getting my point. Okay, so using this formula, reorder level will be equal to X bar plus the safety stock. X bar is lead time into demand, safety stock is given by Z into sigma, where sigma is the standard deviation, and Z, my friend, is corresponding value with respect to the level of service we want to achieve. So if we want to achieve the 80% service level, 90%, 95, 99, we will have to use the value of Z corresponding to that. In this, just remember the value of 95% Z, which is 1.645. Okay. Now there is one question. The question is that the mean and the standard deviation of the demand during lead time are 100 and 5. So mean is given to us. So they have given us the value of X bar, that is 100. They have given us 5, which is the sigma. Determine the reorder point. It is basically asking for the reorder point and the safety stock for 95% service level. Remember, for 95% service level, Z is equal to 1.645, right? 1.645. So guys, we know that reorder level is equal to X bar plus sigma into Z. So X bar is 100, sigma, my friend, is 5 into 1.645. Let me take down my calculator. So this will be coming as 645, that is 108.225 units, correct? So reorder level is going to be 108.225 units. So if the lead time demand is generally 100 units, but the reorder level with respect to the lead time demand is coming as 108.225, then guys, the safety stock, remember this is our safety stock, right? This is our safety stock. So safety stock, my friend, is coming as 8.225 units, which is equal to 8 units, right? If it is greater than 8.5, consider it 9. If it is less than 8.5, then consider it 8. Okay? So safety stock is 8 units. So I will keep 8 extra units so that it will be able to cover some of the uncertainties. I hope you people will be able to answer these questions. Very easy questions. And in GATE exam, like 1 mark questions come from these categories. Now there is one more question. It is saying the lead time demand and its probability are given in the following table. If the reorder point of the demand is equal to 1.5 times the mean demand, what is the service level? Okay? So what is the service level? So it is saying that 1.5 times the mean demand, right? Mean demand is what? X bar, and I have told you how to calculate X bar, the mean demand. So that will be 80 into 0.2. Like the possibility of 80 units demand coming will be 0.2, so I will be considering its weightage here. Then 100 into 0.25, then 120 into, let me use the eraser, 120 into zero point 0.3 plus 140 into 0.25. So this mean is coming as 80 into zero point 0.2 plus 100 into 0.25 plus 120 into zero point 0.3 plus 140 into 0.25. So this is coming as 112. The mean is coming as 112, but it is saying that the reorder point is 1.25 times the mean demand. It means that, it simply means that the reorder point is 1.25 times of mean, that is 100, right? So 1.25 into 100, that means it is 125. So the mean is coming as 112. Mean is, oh sorry, what I have done, I have considered it 100. That is wrong from me. So 1.25 times into 112, 1.25 into 112, this is coming as 140 units. So what is the meaning of this? It simply means that that 112 units is the most expected demand, but in order to go for the safety stock, I am keeping 140 units with me. So 140 minus 112, 140 minus 112, that is 28 units is going to be the safety stock. 28 unit is my safety stock, my friends. But it is not asking me safety stock, it is asking me what is the service level, right? So service level, it's simply suggesting that whenever 140 units are there in the inventory, whenever 140 units are there in the inventory, I am basically taking a reorder or giving a reorder, placing an order. That is the meaning of reorder point, right? So whatever the number of units in the inventory when we place the order, it is called as reorder. So the expected demand is 112 or the mean demand is 112, but my friends, my reorder point is 140. So I am going to place the order at 140. So that means I have an inventory count of 140. Now in this lead time, there is a possibility of demand coming as 80 units also, 100 also, 120 also, 140 also. So the maximum is 140 and I have 140. That means I will basically cover any of the demand that may fall for me. I will basically cover any of the demand that will fall for me. So I will simply add all of them. And it will give me 100% service level. This will tell me that my service level is 100%. I will be able to cover 100% of the fluctuations in demand, whatever it may be, because I am ready for the maximum. If I would have gone with 112, which would have been somewhere here, I would have been able to cover only 45%. My service level would have been 45%. Unserviced level would have been 55%. I hope you people are getting my point. Very easy thing, my friend. Very easy. Is it clear to all of you? Just give me a yes or no in the comment box, right? These are easy topics and therefore I am moving through these topics very quickly, because remember we have to finish the syllabus also. And my friends, on the 2nd January we will be going to have the last class, which is about quality control and MRP. So in that class I will finish the entire syllabus of IE and OR, and then I will start the revision series with questions. Okay. Okay, so let us now dig deep into the demand profit model. Right? So, demand profit model, my friends, demand profit model says that if the demand in the lead time is fluctuating with respect to the normal distribution, so with respect to normal distribution, it is distributed with respect to the mean value. Let's say the mean value is 50, है ना? So chances of demand being 50 units is 50%, which is the highest, and any other value of demand will basically have less possibility, less probability, right? So guys, suppose that this is 40 and let's say this is 60, correct? So what happens, my friend, if I go for, let's say, 40 units, if I go for, let's say, 40 units, है ना, my mean is 50, but I go for 40 units. That means I place the order at 40 units. I have only 40 units in the inventory. So I am basically expecting that in the lead time only 40 units demand will come. I hope you people are getting my point, right? So if I go for the 40 and a demand greater than 40 comes, then basically I will lose the opportunity to make money. Suppose I have a product, let's say Maggie, which has costed me 35 rupees, and I will sell this Maggie for 40 rupees and make a profit of 5 rupees. But if let's say I won't be able to sell this Maggie, if I won't be able to sell this Maggie, then due to the what do we call that date? Expiry date issue. Due to the expiry date issue, I will have to return this 35 rupees packet back to the Nestle company, and then they will basically take that Maggie from me, let's say for 25 rupees. Okay, so I am saying that if I buy a 35 rupees product, if I buy a 35 rupees product and I sell it for 40 rupees, then I will make 5 rupees. But if I fail to sell the product, then I will basically lose 10 rupees on the product. Okay, so I am saying that if I go for, let's say, 40 units, if I go for 40 units, then if higher demands will come, let's say 50 unit demand will come, then on those extra 10 packets that will be basically demanded, I will lose 5 rupees on that, because I would have made those 5 rupees in profit if I would have had those 10 packets with me. I hope you are getting my point. Suppose I went for 60, suppose I went for 60, right? And the demand turned out to be 50. I have 60 units in the inventory, but the demand came for 50 units only. So on these 50 units, I made a profit of 5 rupees on each unit. But on those 10 units which remain unsold, I lost 10 rupees behind every unsold packet. Right? So based on this situation, I have to decide that exactly what number of quantities I should go for, exactly what number of quantities I should order, so that I can make maximum profit. I hope you people are getting my point. I hope you people are getting my point. So guys, let me just tell you that this model or demand profit model, like this service model, I told you that this is basically used when we do not know about the loss of the stock, or if I do not keep the stock in the inventory, then what kind of losses I will face if I do not know that, if I am unaware of the losses. Remember, people are always unaware of the things they do not know. Like most of us are fearful of God, most of us are fearful of ghost. Why? Because we do not know whether there is a God or whether there is a ghost, right? So mostly people are aware of the unknown. Like if you know something, I mean, we are basically have fears of like what questions will come in the exam, right? So we will fear like what is going to be happening in our career, what I will make out of my career, because I do not know what will happen. Now it is in future. Like I hope you are getting my point. So when we are unaware of some situation, then we keep maximum safety. We keep maximum safety. You people are basically investing your hard parents hard earned money and time on education. Why? Because my friends, you know that this is going to be a safety stock for you. This is going to be a safety stock for you. Your education, you will do something from this. You will be able to do at least anything out of your education, and you will be do something in your career. You will make some money. You will have a living. I hope you're getting my point, right? So that's why you're preparing for GATE. This is a safety stock for you. So whenever I talk about the service level model, that how much I should keep my service level, है ना, my service level. Remember, at the mean value it is 50%, but I go beyond the mean value. I keep extra stock because I am unaware of the situation that what might happen in the future. So that is the service level model. Now I am talking about the profit model, where I want to make maximum profit. Do not want to lose money, right? So this model, in this model, demand is uncertain, है ना? Demand was uncertain there also. Decision is based upon single order, that is reordering is not permitted here. I am not talking about reorder or anything. I am only talking about the profit, right? So this model is applied for perishable item. Perishable means which gets easily damaged, which gets easily wasted, ruined. So like vegetables, है ना? So farmers or vegetable shopkeepers, They know that if they buy tomato, they will have to sell the tomato within a very less amount of time, because tomatoes after a couple of days they will get plumpy and nobody will buy them, so it is going to be a waste money for them. Let's say some shopkeeper bought tomato for 5 rupees per kg, and let's say he is selling for 30 rupees per kg. So the tomatoes that will remain unsold, the tomatoes that will not get sold, है ना, those tomatoes, my friend, they will completely cost him 5 rupees behind 1 kg. I hope you are getting my point. But he is selling also for premium. He is selling also for premium. So if he sells more, he will basically compensate for the loss. But remember, I am targeting the maximum profit. I am going to target the maximum profit, right? So this model which I am going to discuss is being used for those items or those products which are very perishable, which easily gets ruined in a very fast time. I hope you are getting my point, right? So in that case, if I have a graph like this, if I go, सर वो आपने एलपीपी में डुअलिटी थ्योरम नहीं लिया था सर, आई थिंक सो सर. Yes, Gino, I have left that on YouTube. I think I forgot, but I have covered that on the special class. So if you want, you can go and watch it on the special class, right? So if I am saying that this 50 has the highest possibility, this is the highest possible demand that might occur, है ना? The possibility of this event to occur is the maximum. So if I go below, just below this, है ना, then also there is a possibility of loss. If I go beyond this, then also there is a possibility of loss. I am saying that if I go for 60 and if I go for 40, then also we are facing loss, and if I go to 60, then also we are facing loss. So we will having the maximum profit where this graph is also showing its peak. I mean, if I order 50 units, the possibility of making the maximum profit will be highest. I hope people are getting my point. Because remember now, if this event is the highest probable event, then if I plan everything as per this event, then basically I am going to fetch the maximum profit, right? So we will basically be using this relation. Which is IP upon IP plus IL. Let me just rub this for you. IP upon IP plus IL. है ना? What is IP upon IP plus IL? IP, my friend, is called as the incremental profit or profit per unit, and IL is called as the incremental loss or loss per unit. So as I mentioned, let's say I bought tomatoes for 10 rupees per kg, right? I bought tomatoes for 10 rupees per kg, and I will sell these tomatoes for 25 rupees per kg. With some Hindi language. Antosh, this lecture is completely in English. So sorry, my friend, because I have to take this lecture in English. है ना? So I'm basically speaking very easy English here. I'm not speaking very tough English. Like remember GATE exam, the paper is in English language, and in those 15 marks of aptitude, 5 marks are from English also. So you have to know this much English. My English is not that good, my friend. My English is very easy. So at least you go for that, right? Because remember, after cracking GATE, let's say you crack GATE and you go to some PSU, there also this English will be required, right? And whatever they say, this is a Hindi speaking country, Hindi is our Matra Bhasha, but the reality is reality, my friend. You ought to know some English. But Antosh, you do not need to study this subject for SSC JE. Why are you studying this subject for SSC JE? है ना? And especially the topics that I am explaining right here. These are all from numerical part, conceptual topics. You do not require to study these topics, right? So I was saying that if the vegetable seller buys the tomatoes for 10 rupees per kg, and if he sells the tomatoes for 25 rupees per kg, then basically he is making a profit of 15 rupees per kg on every unit kg of tomato sold. But if tomato remains unsold, that the entire 10 rupees gone, he will have to feed the tomatoes to the cows. I hope you are getting my point. So on per kg tomato, on a unit kg of tomato, the incremental profit is 15 rupees and the incremental loss is 10 rupees. Incremental profit means profit behind per unit kg of tomato is 15 rupees. If we sell the tomato, 15 rupees profit will be made. If we do not sell the tomato, 10 rupees are gone. So 10 rupees is the loss behind 1 kg, 15 rupees is the profit behind 1 kg. So it basically says that अरे कहाँ गया, that you use this relation, and this, my friend, will tell you the cumulative probability, right? This PS1 PS, it is basically the cumulative probability. Why it is called as cumulative probability? And let me just explain that to you. Guys, remember, if I draw a curve like this, then when I say that respective to this particular event, which is the mean, the graph is basically divided 50-50%. The graph is basically divided 50-50%, है ना? So 50% area is on the left hand side of the graph, which is basically saying कि नहीं होगा, which is basically saying कि होगा. Chances are 50%, yes, demand will come, and right hand side saying it will not come. So this is for the mean value, right? But when I talk about, let's say, 40, so this entire possibility gets covered in the 40. This mean is 50, and if I talk about 40, then area for this 40 is this entire area. So if I have like this value for, let's say, 30, for 20, the probability, right? Remember, for mean it is 50-50, right? So it is going to be less for these values. So like this is 60, then for 60 the possibility is lesser than what is for 50, and for 40 it is lesser than what it is for 50. I hope you are getting my point, right? Because remember, this is the highest of probable event. The possibility for this event to happen is the maximum. So 40 and 60 will have lesser possibility, right? So whenever I talk about 60-40, I am basically considering the area which is left to this, So left to this area means I am considering all the probabilities beyond this. I am considering all the possibilities beyond this, right? So that is called as cumulative probability, my friend. So it is basically saying that if you will use this relation, you will get the cumulative probability on which you will find the maximum profit. In order to maximize our profit, we select the order quantity. Such that cumulative probability S minus 1, just beyond this, the cumulative probability should be less than the cumulative probability of this, and should be less than the cumulative probability of this. Don't worry, guys, I will solve one question for you, and that will clear each and everything for you. Right. So now it says that a stockist wishes to optimize the number of perishable items. Right? So he needs to maintain stock in every month in his store. The demand distribution for the perishable item is this much. So the demand distribution is like this. It has been given that 2 has a demand of 0.13, has a 0.35, 4 has 0.35, 5 has 0.2. So if I will try to draw the graph for this, something like this. If I try to draw the graph for this, something like this. So 3, 4 has a 0.35. So the possibility for this 3 and for this 4 is 0.35. I hope you are getting my point. They have not even given us the mean value also. But at the mean value, we know it is 50-50%. So we have the probability for these demand values. Now they are saying the stockist pay rupees 70 per item and sells at 90. So basically, my friends, the stockist is making an incremental profit of 20 rupees, because if he is buying for 70 and selling for 90, then he is making 20 rupees. If the stock is unsold in any month, he can sell the item at rupees 50 per item. So he bought it for 70, and if he is not able to sell the items within a month time, then he will have to sell the item for 50 rupees only. So a loss of 20 rupees. So incremental loss, my friend, is 20 rupees. I hope you people are getting my point, right? I hope you people are getting my point, Baba. So guys, just check this out. To maximize profit, how much stock he must keep at his store? So remember, I have told you the maximum profit will come at the cumulative probability of this value. Remember, cumulative probability. So guys, we have the probability like this is demand, this is probability. Now here I will write cumulative probability. So demand is 0.1, point, sorry. So demand is 2345, 2345. Probability is 0.1, 0.35, 0.35 and 0.2. So if I want to write the cumulative probability, my friend, remember for 2 the probability is 0.1, right? But if I talk about 3, the probability is 0.35. But if I want the cumulative probability, if I want to have the probability of all these 3, I will basically sum up all these, right? So this will become like 0 to zero point 0.1. This will become from 0.1 to 0.35, that is 0.45. I hope you are getting my point, right? I hope you are getting my point. I have basically added it, right? So 0.45 to 0.35 कितना हो गया भाई? 8. Then 0.8 to 1. So at the end you will get 1, because remember sum of the possibility or sum of the probability of all the event is 1. The area under the curve cannot be greater than 1. Now I have to simplify one thing. If I want to find the maximum profit, it will occur at a cumulative probability of IP upon IP plus IL. Incremental profit is 20 by 20 plus 20. So this is coming as 0.5. I hope you are getting my point, right? I hope you are getting my point. Now, my friends, 0.5 will come in this range. 0.5 will come in this range. 0.45 to 0.8. This 0.5 will come in this range. So it says that the possibility or the point where you will have the maximum profit is with respect to 4. So consider 4 to be as the demand and you order on the basis of 4. 4 unit mangalo, you order 4 units, you will find a maximum profit. I hope you got my point, right? I hope you got my point. Now there can be one doubt in your minds. कि sir ये कहाँ से आया? Where have you got this? Like IP upon IP plus IL. Where this IP upon IP plus IP upon IP plus IL came, right? So guys, remember incremental profit. Incremental profit is what? Incremental profit is what? If I am saying the incremental profit is 20 rupees, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Suppose guys, if you do not have that unit, incremental profit means profit behind one sold packet, profit behind one sold product. If I will not have that product, would I have been able to make this profit here? I am saying that if I can only make profit on tomatoes when I will have tomatoes. I hope you are getting my point. If I will not have this tomato, I will fail to make this profit of 20 rupees. So this 20, my friends, is basically my stock out cost or shortage cost. Why shortage cost? Because if I will short the inventory, if I will remain stock out, I will lose the opportunity to make 20 rupees. So shortage cost is basically 20 rupees. Similarly, incremental loss. Incremental loss, in place of IP I am writing CS, right? And in place of incremental loss, guys, if I keep the product and it gets unsold, if I keep the product and the product do not sold, then I lose 20 rupees. So this is basically my holding cost. If I hold the product, there is a good chance I will lose 20 rupees. But if I will not hold the product, there is a good chance that I will lose the opportunity to make 20 rupees. I hope you are getting my point. So CH is the holding cost, or incremental loss is the holding cost, and incremental profit, my friends, is the shortage cost. Now this CS by CS plus CH, where have you seen this? Where have you seen this? This basically occurred in the minimum cost formula. Economic order quantity relations of the shortage cost model. I hope you are getting my point. So basically we have obtained this from there. right? And now I hope you people have understood how to solve this question. Good evening, Abhishek Pandey. Very good evening, very good evening. Now my friends, I hope you have understood. मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ. I am fine. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing well. So guys, that's it. That's all for this probabilistic inventory model chapter, and this is going to be the end of this lecture. So if you have any doubt, you all have my contact number and everything. You can ask any doubts from me, and I will basically uploading the notes on the Telegram group chat. So guys, let me just give you some information. Unacademy has started a new batch for GATE 2022 aspirants by the name of Evolve. The batch is in English as well as in Hindi. The batch has already started on the 28th of December. And if you want to join this batch, remember to use the referral code triple M10. Another batch by the name of Ascend for GATE 2023 aspirants have also started on the 28th of December. The legendary educators are in charge of this batch, my friends. Can anyone crack GATE? Crazy uploader. Crazy uploader. What do you mean by cracking? Crazy uploader. You are basically asking me a question like, can anyone crack GATE in 1 month? It depends what do you mean by cracking GATE. If you simply mean that you want to qualify GATE, then yes, possible. If you mean you want to score 50 marks in GATE, that is also possible. If you are saying that I can top GATE, no, not possible. अभिषेक पांडे सर टेस्ट सीरीज कैसे दें? अभिषेक, this is my contact number 9630520016. Feel free to call me. I will answer all your questions. It is difficult for an educator to answer questions when you ask in the comment box. So please feel free to call me and I will explain everything to you. Right? So guys, now as I was saying, if you want to join the Ascent batch, use the code triple M10. Use the code triple M10. Like I have already explained this, but let me just go through this once more. The plus and the iconic subscriptions of Unacademy, they are like investments, my friend, because they will definitely show their value in future. Through the plus subscription, you can watch multiple live classes in English as well as Hindi, crash course, rank improvement batches are there, weekly tests, doubt solving sessions are there. If you go for the iconic package, my friends, Unacademy will provide you with a personal coach. He will be planning your study sessions. You will be getting study booster sessions. You will be getting personalized test analysis, and remember preparatory study material also. Guys, the Unacademy subscription is available in various packages, and remember, any package you choose, just remember to use the referral code triple M10. This will basically fetch you 10% discount, right? Your prices will go down by 10% if you will use this referral code. This is valid for both plus as well as for iconic subscription. So that is going to be all for this session. Thank you all for watching this session with me, joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all tomorrow with the final lecture in this series. Tab tak ke liye, tata, bye bye, goodbye.